Hello, welcome back to Survival Sunday with Johnny Tiger and Kitten, but Kitten is in the kitchen, busy right now. So just me. Uh, the date is July 23rd, 2023. Last night, well, actually last night I posted a short video of some random, probably not very good photos taken at Harrison Hot Spring. That's where Kitten and I went to yesterday. We had a gorgeous, gorgeous time soaking in the hot spring, a 1 hour massage at the spa, and just lounging at the side of the pool, getting some sunshine, drinking strawberry flavored water. Yeah, I know we're boring. We didn't drink alcohol or anything like that. We like to stay hydrated and try to be as healthy as we can while still have a good time. And then we went out after driving back to Vancouver. We went out with a couple of friends to Bond's restaurant on Broadway. It's just a very nice place. I've been going to Bond's on and off for about 20 years, so a bit of free advertising. If you um, want somewhere you can get really cheap breakfast and still good breakfast and support a very good person, Bond's restaurant is where you want to go. I think they still have their $5 breakfast, and it's not like super cheap and low grade stuff either. Like $5 breakfast, you get basically a grand slam. So yeah, check that out. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, we were super tired by the time we got home. That's why there's no survival Saturday. So today, as you can see, I'm not in uniform. I also got different glasses, right? Yeah, these glasses, these are my old glasses. I wore these when I was in high school, actually. They have metal frame, so it's unlikely that they'll break as much as my newer, better looking glasses. Because we are going to get up and close today with a standing anaconda and anaconda with takedown. One of my favorite techniques, one of the techniques that I use all the time is sparring. And almost every single time you see me take someone down, it's either going to be something like a standing anaconda or usually complete with an alligator roll, as we've shown in the guillotine choke scenario, uh, or some kind of arm drag takedown or a full body rolling cradle style takedown. But the standing anaconda is one of my favorite because it's so easy to get. And depending on your upper body strength and how stable you are as a person, uh, like if you're built like Johnny Tiger with a big upper body and really good foundation, and you can bear hug or grab and hug. If your hug strength is really good, most of the time you can end the fight right there. Whereas a standing anaconda, the person will tap out. We're talking about competition and sparring, of course. In a real kind of a street fight scenario, I wouldn't stand there and apply the choke. I would still use the same principle, but most likely once I get the choke on, I would give them one really solid squeeze to mess up their neck really, really bad, and then step back and strike. Okay? But be very careful because you are putting a lot of pressure on the person's neck, so don't wrench them around unless if it's a real street fight, life and death scenario. Right? I'll show you guys the difference when we get into it. So, how do we even get this up? Because to a lot of people, this is a really hard choke to get on because you got to time your entry. Okay, most of the time, it requires you to catch that opening and step in and get that opening in there. Right? So I'm going to show you guys what works for me a lot of the time. I'm going to step slightly to the side. So usually I would start from squaring off. But with because of the camera, I'm going to start slightly from the side so you guys can see my arm and Wesley's arm, and we'll go from there. Okay, so usually when you're fighting, you're exchanging punches and blocking and entering, backing off, circling. But this does not set you up for a standing anaconda because you are too far away. So for standing anaconda, we need to stop backing away. Rather, we're going to engage the person and trying to get them to open up their arm, to open their upper guard. This work in, if the person likes to throw hooks, that's the best because they're already opening their arm. So if I catch that hook, I'm going to get my entry by sidestepping around them. So as you can see, I'm sidestepping, gliding in to Wesley's right side, my left arm catching his hook, coming in. So this open up his arm for my right arm to shoot in and latch onto the neck and shoulder junction on his left side, on his left side of his neck and shoulder, trapping his arm, his right arm, the one that threw the hook, here on my own shoulder. Okay, so once I get this in, I'm going to bring him in, reach around behind him with my left hand, grab my own wrist, and start choking. Okay, start choking. This choke is interesting because on the one hand, his own arm being squashed against the side of his face is going to cut off oxygen to his brain. But the more painful part is actually the bony part of my forearm cutting into the opposite side of his neck. This is almost like a double ply choke when we get it in. His arm is trapped here, and the bony part of my wrist cutting into the opposite side of his neck. And from here, I have a lot of leverage. I am not even going to try to stand up tall. Okay, here is what you need to do. Once you latch this on, you want to let your weight drop, and almost like you're going to lean your weight on them and start choking, and start arching the body back while you choke. Okay, very very devastating once you get this choke in there. Now some people say, well, can't they struggle and hit you? Of course they can. Of course they can. But look at the angle here. I get this choke on, the most they're going to really be able to do is maybe punch me in the rib. But they have to punch across their body. Okay, this is why you don't want to circle back in front of them when you get the anaconda. When you get the extended anaconda, if you come back in front of them, you already ruined your own choke. Because now their arm is not pressing into the side of their neck. Now your wrist is going against the back of their neck, which doesn't do shit. Because the back of the neck, there's bone there, there's a lot of muscle there, right? If the bony part of your arm is pushing on the back of the neck, it's uncomfortable, but it's not going to do anything. So for this choke to work, you need to stay on the side of the person. Okay? Don't circle back to the front. If they get, by the way, this is one of the way how you break an anaconda choke too. I might as well show you guys that because we're already talking about it. So if you sense someone trying to anaconda choke you from standing, their arm uh, come around uh, and they get that anaconda choke. They're starting to get that anaconda choke on. Don't panic, okay? If you know what you're doing, bend your arm, bend the arm that's trapped against your neck. So bend the elbow, touch the side of your face, and then what you want to do with your free hand, reach around like this. I can't get a really good punch in this way, right? Because again, I have to punch across my body, and while being choked, I'm going to run out of oxygen. But even though I can't punch very good from this position, nothing stopping me from reaching all the way across, grabbing their face, and yank myself back to face them. That will break the choke. Okay? So that's just a little bit of segue into how you break standing anaconda when someone uses that on you. So back to once we get an anaconda choke on, stay to the side of the person. Okay? You can either do this by, you can apply the pressure by grabbing your wrist, or if you have enough reach, get into a figure four. Uh, so grabbing your own bicep and then put the other hand on their head. This is really bad for them. Okay, this is taking so little of my energy, and for them, I can exert a lot of pressure from here, squeezing, 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 right? Now, this is the competition version of this, right? If I am in a street fight, if I am in a survival mode, and I actually get in here and getting the anaconda choke on, I'm not going to be that nice. Okay, once if I'm in the street fight, I get that opening, I come in to the anaconda choke. I'm going to shoot my arm right across, just like a regular one, but this time I'm going to grab my own arm and just give it a nice hard wrench. And as I do that, as I do the nice hard wrench on their neck, I'm going to step back and take their head all the way around like that, right? Give me 1 second. We need to adjust Wesley so he's not constantly falling over. Give me 1 second. I think I've heard some of my artwork just fell over. All right, everything's good. Nothing broke. So now I'm going to show you guys how to do the takedown. It's very simple. And then we'll look. Actually, let me reverse that. Let's look at a few entry options before we do a takedown, so I don't have to get him off the ground and set him up straight again. So we already talked about when the person throw a big right hook and you catch that hook and you shuffle in your inside arm. So if I shuffle into the right, my inside arm is my right. If I shuffle into their left, my inside arm is my left. So your inside arm shoot in, just like you want to grab them by the face, but you go to the opposite side of where you enter. So you glide across their shoulder rather than grab them by the face. Okay? And then that will set you up for that nice anaconda squeeze. Huh? So hook is good. Now, what if the person just throwing like Wing Chun punches all down the center and nothing else? That's fine, because all you have to do is create an opening for yourself. And one of the things I like to do is in the white train style of uh, kung fu and the praying mantis style of kung fu, there's a lot of hook hand and redirecting and just little side parry kind of situation. So if the person is punching down the center line, I'm just going to catch a few of this, and once I think I can get their arm, I'm going to slap their arm to the side, either with a claw hand or a hook, uh, a backward open palm from below like this, and that will give me that entry I need. Okay, so let's watch it. Watch that again. If they're punching down the center, like how Wesley's fist is all down the center line like this, and I can get in with that anaconda, I'm going to parry, 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 hook in, and I'm in. If I hook their arm to the side, I step to the other side of them. So if I parry his left hand, I'm going to shuffle in the right side. And as you guys, I don't know if you guys catch that. I did take a punch to the face, but in this, like in real time, this is going to be very, very light. Like you most likely wouldn't even, you'll feel it later, but you won't feel it while you're fighting because they don't have time to set up for a really hard punch unless they're really seasoned and they see you coming, they know what you're about to do. But most likely, this punch is just like a gentle tap on the face. So, okay, step in. Now, we see what happened here. This is something that can happen sometimes. So you step in, but you fail to trap their arm. So my arm, rather than be under the arm, but this time when I enter, it's above their arm. Okay? Now this is still okay. You won't get an anaconda here, but what you will get is a clothesline right across the throat. That's still okay. Yeah, I prefer anaconda, but if I feel that I'm going over their arm, a lot of people say you won't be able to get a lot of force from that because you don't have the big wrestling style swing clothesline. But that's fine. I don't need a lot of space. Okay, just watch that. Parry, parry, enter. Right? I can generate a lot of force by whipping and rotating my arm just from 6 inches away. And this clothesline will be a knockout, no matter if I get them in the face or in the throat. That's fine. Another good anaconda entry for fighting is if you do a two-handed block and shoot in. Okay, so again, that punching down the center line, whether it be uppercut, hammer fist, or straight punch, and I'm blocking some of this, and when I gauge the distance is right, I'm going to put my hand together, form this diamond shape, and go right in the middle of the two arms. Once I'm in, I'm going to naturally spread my arm and close around the arm and neck. This is a very quick entry, but you have to time this just right. Otherwise, you will eat a lot of punches to your face. Now, as we now that we look at the entry and what and you can do if you mess up the grab, I'm going to show you guys the simplest takedown from Anaconda. Once I parry, get in that Anaconda, now, okay, I'm going to turn swiftly so you guys can hopefully see what's going on. I'm here on the side with the Anaconda. Uh, Let me turn this side so you guys can see my lower body movement. As I say, once I lock that anaconda in, I'm going to sag. I'm going to just drop my weight onto his body, his shoulder. Okay, this will make sure that he's not going to kick me because if I stand up, if I'm holding his weight, he can do things like that with his legs being kicked. But if I am sagging down on him, then if he doesn't want to go to the ground, he has to stay standing. Okay? So I'm hugging, I'm choking, I'm dropping my weight on him, and from here, I'm just going to shuffle my inside leg behind his and throw him down to the ground. Once he go down, I naturally drop my knee on his chest, and most people will naturally want to guard their face when they see the person coming down right on top of them. So their arm will go up. So my knee go on the chest, my arm dropping onto their arm. Now I have all this rib cage, groin, stomach to work on with my free hand while they're pinned under my elbow and my knee. Next time, Tactical Tuesday, we'll come back and we'll look at another interesting variation, or not variation, but an interesting save if your Anaconda mess up the other way. Because sometimes what's going to happen is rather than getting the one arm, you might shoot in and find, oh crap, I got both of their arms. So now you're under their arm and you can't get their neck. Next time I'll show you guys what you can do in that scenario. And in a little bit, after dinner, I'll come back with a more peaceful video and we'll look at today's Soul Search Sunday. Thank you for checking out today's Survival Sunday. I'll see you guys in a little bit.